Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. These two drops find us in our Warhammer. It is a Warhammer 6R. First match has us playing Assault on the Mining Collective, and we're jumping right into the action as the enemy wants to contest us on the middle high ground. And there is an Atlas ahead of me to the left, and I'm waiting for him to come out again. Let's see if we can light him up and get a good shot on him, and kudos to him. He tanks our shot like a boss. I was hoping to see a little more damage on him. And their skirmishers now are coming around our left side, and let's see if we can dissuade them. Hellspawn is just on the other side. He's going vertical, and we're going to anticipate his movement and take that right arm. He's going to back off, but reinforcements are on the way, and what looks like an assault, and that actually looks like an Atlas. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that might have even been a headshot. Unless he was open CT. I don't know. More units are starting to push around our left flank, including a missed Lynx. He's starting to pick on one of my teammates with his little flamers and machine guns, and our first shot rips off half his mech. The whole left torso, left arm is gone. His flamers have no power on me, and it allows me to get that second shot off, take the opposite torso, and he drops like a sack of potatoes. So that's 2 kills in about 90 seconds. We missed the shot on the urban mech who was jumping there, but had we landed the shot, that would have been an epic third kill. I guess we're going to have to do this one the hard way and be on the lookout for our next victim. There's a Lima. We'll get a shot on the Nova as well before he drops down. There's an urban mech. I would love to shoot an urban mech, but he's a little further out there than what I would like to engage at, plus he ducked back behind cover. So we're on the hunt yet again, looking for enemies. Now some of them look like they want to get cheeky on the ramp and push their way up, but my teammate and I quickly dissuade them from that. Between racks and Gauss rounds, they back off. The ramp is successfully defended. And coming around to my left, there is a Corsair up on the high ground with us. I'm not sure exactly where he came from or how he got up there, unless he has jump jets. We'll get a shot or two off on him. He's using the building now for cover. I'm going to parallel his movement and get some more shots on him as he continues to back up. And I'll wait to see if he backs beyond the building. Maybe not. One of my units is charging him, and instead of backing up, the Corsair pulls forward. That kind of ruined my anticipated shot, and I have to pull forward as well. Teammate takes him out before I can clear the building. I am just not having much luck finding my next kill. That is, until I look up. And there's an Urbie standing still, and that's the wrong thing to do in a light mech. Speed is life, and down goes the Urbie. Yes, I'm bullying light mechs. And speaking of bullying light mechs, there's one in the low ground picking on a teammate. We're going to do some damage to him. Probably took left torso, and he shuts down, giving me his back. The poor Raven eats double Gauss rear CT, and what a wonderful little fireworks display, but he is dead as a doornail. Last one left is in the outskirts. We get one shot on him, but my teammates take him out before I can follow up. We wind this one out with only 466 damage done, but 4 kills, 7 components destroyed. Moving on to our next drop, this one's got us playing Conquest mode on Canyon Network, and while the action's a little slower to develop compared to our first match, that's okay because it gives me a second to catch up with things like the build itself. So let's talk about that. It's a Warhammer 6R outfitted with 2 heavy Gauss rifles, top speed 46.3 kph. This is a very unconventional build, and that's because most people are used to seeing a Warhammer with some kind of laser PPC energy build going on. And this is something just a little bit different. It does come with a cost. You do not have unlimited ammo, so pick and choose your targets wisely. 46.3 kph is not a speed demon, especially in a Warhammer, and I'm getting outpaced a couple of times by some of the assaults. So just be aware of that as well. And last but not least, the arms on this build are shaved down in the armor department because I had to save weight somewhere. So that's what the build looks like. Now let's get on to what I really want to talk about and what was demonstrated in that first drop. And that is damage. Damage is a huge part of the game. It's used to determine N score, C-bills, XP, bragging rights, tier ratings. The whole enchilada is tied into damage. Now, there are other factors that play into calculating those scores as well, but damage is the most heavily weighted. And what I want to warn you about and caution you on is do not let yourself become a slave to your score or the end screen. Remember, this is a game, and go out there and have fun. Some of the best matches you're going to have are the ones where your heart's racing, your hands are shaking, the adrenaline shakes are kicking in, you push back in your chair at the end and say to yourself, wow, that was the best drop ever, even though your score is 200 or something. Those are the games that you live for and have fun with. Don't focus too much on what your end score is. Focus on the fun of the game. Jumping back into the fun on this match, we just had the fun of shooting the king crab in the back for our first kill, and now we've moved across the center. You can see my left arm is open, and remember what I said earlier, it's because I have less armor on this particular build, so if I lose my arms, it's to be expected. There's nothing in them. They're there for shield anyway. Pushing up and over the top, here comes a Mad Cat Mark II, and he eats the double heavy gauss shot to the face right there. And a great spray of sparks as his mech goes down. We're going to keep pushing across the open terrain here and get an angle on that catapult. He's been shooting me for a good while, and I want my revenge. I'm going to get a little panic fire out on that unit to the right, hopefully drive him back into cover. I think it's another catapult. And here comes the first catapult. First shot is ineffective. That left arm doesn't mean anything on a build like this. However, his right torso is open. If I can get to that right torso, we can take half his mech. There goes a good bulk of his firepower, and we get the kill shot through the CT as well. Now I'm getting focused by another enemy unit, and that is the other catapult. He must have swung up through the valley, and I'm going to go to the right. I've got 2 units to my left, and we will get him in a pincer movement. And unfortunately, my teammates get the kill before I can drop in and exact a bit of revenge myself, but that's okay. It's all for a good cause in the name of winning and victory, right? No, it's in the name of having fun. So I'm going to swing around and try to catch up with my teammates. There's a wounded annihilator in front of me, but he's taken out before I can get a shot out on him. So here I go again, searching for my next victims when somebody finds me. I get a shot. I'm not quite sure where it came from, but I gotta keep pushing forward. With the slow speed of this mech, I'm going to get left behind if I don't keep pushing forward. Here's an enemy light charging through the center. We get a good shot on him. More shots to my back, so whoever's here, it's the fire starter, and he was sticking around in hopes of pursuing me. So I've called him out to my teammates, looking for some support. He moves in, and before I can get another shot on him, he manages to take me out with those medium lasers. Not that the flamer was doing anything, but down I go, and now it's going to be up to my teammates. Can they bring this one home? The score is 10-7, so we're ahead on kills, but the enemy team has a pretty substantial lead on the capture points. So now the question becomes, who can do what first? Can we hunt down the last remaining 2 mechs, or can they remain evasive enough and manage the capture points to out-cap us and get the victory that way? Enemy Arctic Cheetah, he's been spotted. He's just outside of Sigma, and it's 2v1. It looks like he's trying to break away and disengage, which is the smart play for him to do if he can break contact, become evasive again, and continue managing the cap points. That's what the team needs to win. It's still 10-7, and the cap points are 480 plus to 629, 632. They just keep ticking it up. I don't know if we can pull this one off. Now the Arctic Cheetah is seen yet again. This time he's going for Theta. Our Corsair is driving him off, and we have made some inroads on the cap points. The real question becomes, is it too little, too late? We have 3 cap points. The enemy still control 2 cap points, and their score keeps ticking up. We're making grounds, but I don't know if it's going to be fast enough. There goes the Arctic Cheetah yet again. He is going full cap mode, which is exactly what he needs to do at this point. And we managed to get his teammate. His teammate went down somewhere else on the board. Arctic Cheetah is the only one left, and it is 578 to 689. They keep going up. If he can keep us distracted, they still may claim the victory. I don't know how this one's going to play out. Now, the good news is he's 2v1 by the cap point, and I don't think he can easily disengage from these 2 units. Unfortunately, one of the 2 is our Hellfire, and he only has LRMs. He's counting on the Hunchback to be his damage dealer with those 2 medium lasers and the PPC. Now, the enemy has crossed the 700 point mark. This is getting really, really close. And oh my goodness, our Hunchback blew himself up. He had his override on. There was just too much heat from those laser weapons, and down he goes. Arctic Cheetah is still out there on the loose. He's been spotted by one of our assault mechs, and his mech is in terrible shape. Cherry red CT 1 touch, and down he goes. Guys, this is what I'm talking about. A barn burner of a finish, and regardless of what's on the end screen, it was fun. Now, checking that end screen, we wound up with 8 components destroyed, 3 kills, but only 472 damage done in a fun match.